Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is amazing how they continue to script sports with the Oval Office. We were all over this today. Go back to my video from November 4th, the night before the rigged selection of Donald Trump. I told you it was in the bag for Trump based on what happened in the NBA and what was going to happen in the NFL before Monday Night Football started. The Cavs game was pretty much already over. The Cavs got off to their best start in 48 years, starting the year 8-0 by beating the Milwaukee Bucks on November 4th. And I pointed out how Donald Trump equals 48, and Cleveland equals 48, and Grover Cleveland equals 80. And Trump became the first split-term president since Grover Cleveland. And don't forget, Trump had his convention in Cleveland in 2016, right after LeBron won the finals on the road, King James' birthday. But we were pretty sure the Cavs would sweep this series. They kept the Heat on 80 wins all-time versus the Cavs. So by the Heat getting swept tonight, they stayed on 80 wins all-time. And here's what's amazing. Remember, Gematria, it's the alphabetic order, forwards and backwards. Donald Trump equals 138 forwards. Notice the Cavs won with 138 points. And when you run it in reverse, Donald Trump equals 159. The Cavs became the 159th team to win an NBA series after starting 3-0. The Boston Celtics were the 157th team to do it last year in the finals. You might recall the only game the Mavs won last year was Game 4 on Donald Trump's 78th birthday in the NBA's 78th season when Boston Celtics equals 78. And that finals began on their 78th birthday, the Celtics. But yeah, this 138-159, we saw it when the Nationals won the 115th World Series after Trump took office with the 115th Congress and hired Steve Ray, the Nationals radio announcer, to do the inauguration. Remember, the Nationals won that World Series 138 days after Trump's birthday, and they threw 159 pitches in the win. And if you look in the NBA, you'll see that, if you forgot, the Nationals beat the Houston Astros last night, or that same Game 7 where the Nationals won, the Houston Rockets beat the Washington Wizards that same night with 159 points. Nice little doubleheader we had. Nationals were a big old payout as big dogs. But, and again, remember, the Nationals equals 57 like World Series, and they gave the Astros their 57th postseason loss in that game. But yeah, this is a major Trump ritual. And, you know, about the 80 thing in Grover, Cleveland, the Cavs won 64 games in the regular season. You got to win 16 to win the finals. If the Cavs won it all, they would have 80 wins this year. And again, if you're on Patreon, you're in the driver's seat because preseason, before the season began, we said there's only two teams that can represent the finals in the East, and it's Boston or Cleveland. We said look out for Boston to start the year 19-5 in the preseason. That game was on Larry Bird's birthday, Larry Legend. And sure enough, the Celtics did start the year 19-5 on Larry Bird's birthday. Boston Celtics equals 195. And if they win the finals, they're going to be 19-5. But Cleveland's making things interesting. And again, just for other familiar patterns, Trump equals 88. We love the orange team from New York to get to 8-8 in the nation's capital today. Mets blew out the Nationals to get to 8-8 away. Trump 88. And again, I'm pretty sure we got our World Series future for already this year. We do it year after year in these sports, especially the MLB. MLB's been the very best for futures. And by the way, yeah, we will be doing the Kentucky Derby this weekend. But, you know, the other year when the Phillies represented the NL in the 118th World Series, we said spring training, it'll either be the Phillies or the Dodgers to represent the NL. They're the only two cities with a 118 connection, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Los Angeles, California, both 118. We were hoping to be Philly because they were a way bigger payout. And sure enough, that's what happened. The Phillies made it to the 118th World Series. Well, today's the 118th day of the year. Did you see who's at the White House today on the 118th day of the year? That's right, the Philadelphia Eagles. And if you missed Jalen Hurts getting married by the numbers the other day to Bly Burrow, think about that one, NFL fans. If you go back to what I said right after the Super Bowl ended on Patreon, your eyes will really start to pop out. We're always way ahead of the curve. Way too many haters out there, and more people should just be getting in line and following the leader, leading people to the gold mine season after season. But, yeah, one other piece that I could tell you about this game. Today's the 118th day of the year. Trump took office January 20th. That means it's 98 days later. Remember, National Basketball Association equals 98. The first time I ever put out a future for basketball was the first time LeBron and Curry met in the finals. They played on the 42nd day of the year. Or, excuse me, No, they played on the 57th day of the year, 98 days before game one of the finals. And I told people that day, I said, based on what happened in that game with LeBron scoring a season high of 42, I said, watch, in 98 days, this is going to be game one of the finals. Steph Curry versus LeBron, the two guys from Akron, born in the same hospital. National Basketball Association 98, Chosen 198, what's tattooed on LeBron's back. Go back and look at game one of the first finals between LeBron and Curry. Went to overtime 98-98. That's how they script it. But yeah, major ritual here. And hey, for one more, 138 to 83, do the math on that. That's a 55-point blowout. What equals 55? That's right, Satan. And why does that matter with Trump? Because he runs on mega, the fifth and highest degree of the Church of Satan. Mega. So, yeah, mega ritual, mega decode, more undeniable gematria proofs about how scripted the games are. Again, if you're on our Patreon discussion this morning, we were talking about how lined up this game was with Trump and the 8-0 thing and Grover Cleveland, the same thing we were talking about at the start of the season. So you guys can go back and watch the video from November 4th. I'll tell you what, here'd be the sign that Cleveland is the team. If in the next round they sweep again and they start the playoffs 8-0, I can't fade 280s in a row. But the Boston thing, Boston-Cleveland's tough right now. But hey, if you were with us in preseason, that's what we said. The only two teams that could represent the East, Boston or Cleveland. We're always way ahead of the curve. Congrats to the winners. And until next time, True Sticker.